No worries.
You guys have got me into trouble once already.
Okay, basically I've been sharing with a group of graduating students from NUS. So I am one of the invited alumni members to come back to give a talk. Okay, that's the context.
Okay then.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I'm Wei Liang. I graduated from the class of 2007, majoring in economics. Thank you, Professor Rafia, for inviting me and other alumni members back to give a talk to share about our own experiences. Okay, sorry, can I restart?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. You have up to 5 o'clock to do it.
Just your time.
Okay, can I just replay the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I'm William graduated from the class of 2007, majoring in economics. Thank you, Professor Rafia, for inviting me as well as other alumni members back to share our experiences. Okay, for today's purpose, I'm not going to talk about my work in MOM, Ministry of Manpower. I'm not going to talk about my personal life. Neither am I going to talk about my undergrad days in NUS, because I'm sure you have heard enough from the 7 speakers before me. So instead today, I'm going to talk about a special topic, memorable overseas experiences. And I hope at the end of my speech, you'll be able to take away something special from this topic. What comes to your mind when you think about memorable overseas experiences? Some of you could be thinking about a holiday in Maldives. Some of you could be thinking about shopping in Hong Kong or other destinations. For the more adventurous one, like Professor Rafia, you could be thinking about skydiving or parachuting in Canada. Personally, to me, these are not really memorable experiences. Instead, I would say that it's the companionship that matters. And for myself, the most memorable overseas experiences are actually those trips that I made with my family members, my friends, as well as my loved one, who is my future wife-to-be. Okay, let me share 3 memorable overseas experiences that I have. The first was actually 10 years back, when I was still an 18-year-old NS boy. And I actually was posted to Brunei. I was one of the lucky, or you could tell me unlucky ones, was posted to Brunei for 1 year service. And when I was in Brunei, I learned to be independent. I learned to do my own laundry. I learned to cook my own meals. But actually, that's not the main point of what made it so special. This trip was so special to me. Instead, what made the trip so special to me was the whole experience that I went through, especially the support given to me by my NS buddies that time. I remember there was a tall mountain in Brunei, they call it Mao Biang in short. This is not your normal Bukit Timah hill. In fact, I will almost equate it to Mount Everest. And to scale that mountains, it really took out, I think, at least 6 years of my stamina when completing it. And at certain points in time, I feel like giving up, but it was the support from my colleagues at that time, my superiors at that time, that pushed me to go on and finish the whole exercise without any failures. And I will be proud to say that my NS buddies of yesterday's, some of them are actually my best friends of today. My second most memorable trip was actually a maiden trip to Ho Chi Minh City with my girlfriend. I can remember that we dated about 4 months, and that was the first trip that we made overseas together. Okay, what was special was not just about crossing the busy streets in Ho Chi Minh City, which was crowded and congested with bicycles. It was also not about squatting and trying to climb your way through the Gucci tunnels, which is a popular war tunnel in Ho Chi Minh City. But rather, it was the time spent together, and especially let me cite an incident. It was one of our final nights in Ho Chi Minh City. We were in a very nice restaurant, very good ambience, candlelight dinner, and I happened to see a waiter and he was playing a guitar. So I asked the waiter to actually play a nice song for my girlfriend. And at the end of the day, I didn't choose the song, but the waiter actually selected her favorite song. What my third girlfriend thought it was a surprise to her actually was a planned coincidence. And that was one trip that was very special for me because I traveled with my girlfriend. And our relationships has improved and blossomed since after the trip. The last trip that I want to share with everybody, and it was also a very special trip for me, was my recent trip to Phuket with my parents. I would be proud to say that this was the first time that I bring my parents overseas, and it was the first trip that we made together since my primary school days. And it used to be my parents taking care of me and my brother. And I would say that this is a good chance for me to actually take care of my parents and to show my filial piety to them. The trip to Phuket, I sad to say that it was the weather there was very warm. The journey and the time spent on transportation was quite long from the hotel to the shopping areas. And the food wasn't to our liking. I have nothing against Thai food, but basically I think we visited the wrong places. But what actually touched me at the end of the trip was, or during our flight back to the airport, it was something special shared by my mom and my dad. It's not where you bring them to that matters, but rather it's the time that you are willing to take outside of your work and being able to devote the time with them that makes life so special to them. So actually, just to conclude, my point of sharing all these memorable overseas experiences is that as you graduate and you move on to your careers, pursue your own goals, aspirations in life, don't forget that you are yourself today because of somebody and others who have actually nurtured you along the way. Don't forget your loved ones as you pursue your dreams. Thank you very much.